Hey guys, I'm Taylor.
And I'm Shannon.
And you're listening to Nefarious.
We are two 911 night shift dispatchers that decided to give our perspective on cases and events that happen before and after the emergency call. We cope with difficult situations, calls, and life with dark humor. We mean no disrespect. Our intentions are always to research and present information correctly and truthfully.
Warning: the audio you're about to hear is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
For 911, where's your emergency?
This is Sandy. 241 Rock River Road.
What's the problem?
Police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chip killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. Hurry
Who
up.
has a gun?
Please, hurry up. He's killing my girlfriend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
My chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
He ripped her apart. Hurry up.
With a gun.
Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
With guns, please. You shoot him.
What is the monkey doing? Tell me what the monkey's...
He ripped her face off.
He ripped her face off?
He's trying to attack me. Please,
Okay,
hurry.
I need you to calm down a little bit. They're on the way. Can you push yourself away? I don't want the monkey attacking you.
Please, hurry up. Listen to me.
They're on the way, ma'am.
Guns. They gotta shoot him, please. Please, hurry.
You're there with your friend. I need you to help your friend. Can you go help your friend?
I can't. He tried to attack me now.
Is he still there with your friend?
Yes.
Okay, so then back off. Then don't get any closer, okay? They're already on the way.
Please.
If the monkey moves away from your friend, let me know, okay? So we can try to help your friend.
No, I can't. She's dead. She's dead.
Why are you saying that she's dead?
She's dead. He ripped her apart.
He ripped what apart? Her face?
Everything.
He ripped her apart?
Listen, I think I'm gonna pass out.
No, just breathe, okay? I'm going to stay with you on the phone until they get there.
Listen to me. Please hurry. Please hurry. Oh my God. They gotta have their guns out. They gotta have their guns out. Listen to me. Oh my God.
Is this your monkey or whose monkey is it? It's your monkey.
No, it's mine.
How do you know how big is he? How many pounds?
200 pounds.
400?
200.
200 pounds?
Listen to me, please. Where are they?
And he's a chimp, correct?
Yes. Where are they?
They're going your way. They're going as fast as they can your way, okay?
Please go faster. Please, Dirk. Please.
Is the monkey still by your friend, or can you get close to your friend?
He's eating her. Please. God, no, please.
Okay, I need you to calm down for me. I know it's hard, okay? I know it's hard. But they're going as fast as they can your way, okay?
Oh, my God. Please. They tell them they gotta shoot him because I tried stabbing him and he's not, and it made him worse.
Okay, Sandra.
Have them shoot him.
They will. Sandra, I already have the fire department close by, okay? So as soon as the police get there, the fire department's going to move in, okay? The fire department can't move in yet, but as soon as the police officers show up...
Please tell them. Shoot him because he's going to try to attack me now.
Just breathe, Sandra.
Shoot him!
Sandra, stay in your car.
Shoot him!
Sandra, I need you to stay in your car.
Shoot him, please. I tried stabbing him, and he's hurt now, too. So he's going to attack anybody. I can't get out of this car.
Lock your doors on your car and stay there with me.
It don't matter. He will rip the doors wide
Sandra,
open.
just do what I'm telling you to. Stay in the car. The police officers will handle it.
Please tell him to shoot him. Please tell him. Please tell him to kill him, please.
They did, Sandra. They're shooting at him already, okay?
But he's not dead.
I know. They will continue until he's dead, okay? I just need you to stay on the phone with me and breathe.
He's not dead. He's not dead. Oh, God. Oh, God.
I was hoping to shock you a little with the call type. It's crazy, right?
I did not expect that at all.
No.
Like, I don't know. Like, whenever we first heard the caller, like, I heard screaming in the background. Was that the victim?
No, that was the chimp.
The screaming we heard was the chimp. So
chimp.
we didn't hear the victim at all.
Nope. I would assume not.
I completely thought that was if I'd taken that call, I think there's a female talking to me and another female in the background screaming bloody murder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I read multiple interviews that it was the chimp itself that was screaming that like high pitched manic scream.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's eerie.
So it's one of those things. Again, all the calls you pull are like random as fuck, and I can never imagine being the call taker on these calls. So we don't have protocol for
a chimp attack.
Yeah, for a chimp attack.
Well.
And the dispatcher, I will give them credit because obviously I seriously doubt this agency had training for this as well.
I think he was very confused because he even said like, who's got a gun or something like that, and he was just hella confused, I think. But also the call was super frantic. However, I understand because it was
a traumatic thing for her to experience. Of
However,
course.
he's still trying to get to the bottom of whatever, he's got to send the right resources and stuff, so he has to ask those.
Granted, officers rescue given, but at the same time, like I understand that she's like screaming, "Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!" But like this is not something that it would take a split second for me to wrap my brain around this because you have a wild animal. Like I understand that he was domesticated. He was, I guess, a pet or something. I don't know what the relationship was, but you have a wild animal that is attacking a person. Like this is the equivalent of a bear attack, a lion attack, like things. I know,
By
bear,
heart.
yeah, but it's a wild animal attack.
Yeah.
In general, and
it's just not something one you would expect ever, but like probably in his day he was expecting like another domestic or a disturbance or whatever he might have.
That's what I was thinking. Whenever I first heard the screaming, I was like, okay, there's a female being attacked by a suspect. At no point was I even in the realm of possibilities for it being an animal attack.
Yeah. And he was like, who is? And she was like, my chimp or whatever. And he was like, oh, your monkey. Oh, okay. So you could hear him like connect.
Yeah.
And it was like a different type of question.
Yeah, I mean, and he went right into it. And the thing is like, it's one of those things that we always try to get the caller to a safe location. And in this situation, from what I heard on the call, like she's in a car, correct? And she says that this chimp, this 200-pound chimp, can rip the doors off of a car.
And did.
Like,
we'll talk about it a little later, but did.
Oh my gosh.
I think I'll say it later, but I read that he had the strength of 5 men. And because, obviously wild animals in general are going to have like a super strength, weird vibe, whatever. Yeah. But she was right.
But like our first instinct, get the caller to safety. I don't know what that looks like in this situation. She can't get out of the car because obviously if the chimp is close enough for us to hear it, it's close enough to attack her.
Drive away if there was keys in the vehicle.
Yeah.
But this was also, I think, I'll say it, in 2009. I don't know the resources that were there.
Right.
But also, I don't know what I would have said or done. I think the dispatcher especially once he figured out what was actually fucking happening, he did a really good job.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he's concerned for her safety, obviously.
And the victims.
Yeah, because the caller's like, she's dead. Like, I can't help her. But he's like, if the chimp leaves her, I want to get you to her to be able to render some type of aid.
Yeah.
Which she said that he had ripped her apart. Yeah. So this is not going to be apply a clean dry cloth and hold pressure. Like, ripped apart is a whole different realm of EMD.
Yeah.
That's an insane call.
It is. And I was hoping to like switch it up a little bit.
Congratulations.
Well, so this chimpanzee's name was Travis. He was born October 21st, 1995 in Missouri. What would you think that rate for a chimp would be in 1995? Like, to buy it?
I have no clue. Like,
your best guess.
$1,000. It's an exotic animal.
It is.
$1,000.
$50,000.
For a chimp?
Sandra and Jerome Harold, Sandra is who we heard on the call, bought Travis for $50,000 at 3 days old.
I don't understand. Obviously, it didn't go well.
I saw a receipt for 40, but I don't know if like
40,000.
Yeah, but either way, 40. I saw everyone said 50, but I did see a receipt for 40, but I don't know where that came from. But fun fact, they named Travis after Sandra's favorite singer, who is Travis Tritt.
Of course, that's why you picked this case.
I did. Well, close, but I thought it was really cool.
So you said that the screaming that we heard in the beginning of the call was Travis. It wasn't the friend.
No, it was Travis. It was the monkey.
So is it just the
chimpanzee, rather?
Is it just the two females there with the chimp? And I also did not know that chimps got to be 200 pounds. I thought they were a smaller breed.
I talk about that in a second. He was like 240, which is significantly obese for a chimp. I heard from 200 and 240, or 250, so I heard 240 like several times, but I basically, still, either way.
That's a big monkey.
Big motherfucker. So, Sandra and Jerome Harold raised Travis at their home in Stamford, Connecticut. Travis had been socialized since birth, basically, because they got him at like 3 days old. And the Harolds owned like a towing company, and they took him to work with him to like town to run errands. He was the mascot of the towing company. Like, he was very well known within the town. But he also was on TV shows and commercials like Pepsi and Old Navy. He did a show like with Sheryl Crow. He was in the Maury Show. Like, this was a famous chimp. Like, he had been out. Like, he was very well known.
Do we know what made him snap?
So, we'll kind of get to that, but it is basically unknown. Sandra has her theories, but overall, it's like, I guess.
Nope.
So,
not I.
Like I said, he was very well known. He could open doors, feed the farm animals, dress himself, log into the computer, brush his teeth, eat dinner at the table, watch TV using the remote, drove a car. Like, he was very, like, I don't even know.
Smart for a chimp?
I guess, like, he was very normalized, if that makes sense.
Until he wasn't.
Yeah, well, like I said, he was 240 pounds, which is, like, significantly obese for a chimp. I read that he loved ice cream and learned the schedule for ice cream trucks. Do we even have those anymore? I haven't heard one in years.
I'm from the country. We never had those.
You never had ice cream trucks?
No.
I mean, I only got them at the park and
we
stuff.
had, like, the Swanson's truck. That was about it. It didn't play
ain't
music.
Ain't that the fish?
Nope. I mean, they may have sold fish, but they sold, like, all frozen stuff. It was, like, a little yellow truck that had frozen foods in it.
Oh. Yellow?
It was yellow. Wasn't the Swanson truck yellow?
Oh. I don't think I ever saw it, but I'm pretty sure that's where my papa bought his fish from. Maybe I'm completely making that up.
I don't know.
Suppressed memory. Okay.
Different farm.
Okay. In October of 2003, there was an incident at a red light which a pedestrian threw an empty soda bottle through a partially open window of Sandra's vehicle. The bottle had struck Travis, so he unbuckled his seatbelt and chased the pedestrian. He didn't get him or anything like that, but apparently, like, he made a ruckus, if you will, for, like, hours. Like, he just showed his ass, basically, like, all around. Like, he didn't hurt anyone. He just basically, like, refused to get in the truck, held up the intersection of, like, downtown Sanford or wherever. So, they ended up...
He wore his seatbelt?
Yeah,
That's adorable.
He, like, I'm telling you, he did everything. This chimp...
It was like a child.
It was... Yeah, she described him as her son. Sandra did. But
before she started screaming, shoot him, shoot him.
Yeah, it gets into that. It's just really sad.
It's a lot of money.
It's really, really sad. So, he held up traffic at the intersection for several hours. Police arrived and lured Travis back into the car multiple times, but he would just go out of another door. But due to this incident, Connecticut General Assembly enacted a law prohibiting the ownership of primates weighing more than 50 pounds and requiring owners of exotic animals to apply for permits. The attack we heard on the call also happened in 2009, but the Connecticut Department of Environmental Protection did not enforce the law on Sandra and Jerome because they had already had Travis for so long, even though the incident literally enacted it because of Travis. It was like enacted because of him.
No, we actually have the same thing. Like, we had passed a exotic animal ordinance, but anyone who already had them were grandfathered in. So that makes sense.
Which is wild.
It really is. Because we actually have a chimp in our area.
We do?
We do.
Don't trust it.
Don't trust it.
Don't trust it. Well, I mean, I hate to say it like that because I talk about it a little later, but it's like, how do you classify it? Do you classify it as like a pet or do you classify it as like a human? Because Sandra classified this chimp as a human, like as a son she cared for, and I'll describe a little bit later.
It's got to be classified as an animal, though, because I mean, you're not gonna arrest it. You're gonna call animal control in another situation where they're not putting it down. But that goes for
like a fucking dog. Like if a dog is attacking and hurting people, they're gonna shoot it.
Correct.
So, but like it's almost like, okay, at the same time, a human is if a human is actively killing someone, they're going to shoot it. So it's
not necessarily. I think with a human, it's more of less.
You don't think if someone is actively killing someone, someone's not going to kill it?
An officer's not.
An officer is not going to kill someone who's actively killing someone? Where do you live? Not in America.
No, I mean, I think they're going to try to apprehend them, not necessarily just shoot them on sight.
Are we in the same universe right now?
Am I wrong?
Is an officer not going to kill someone who is actively trying to kill someone else?
As a first case scenario.
Literally, their job. Protect and serve. Serving is firing the service weapon. I hate to say it like that, but like, no, that's literally what they do. What do you mean?
But we've also seen them use less lethal manners to apprehend someone.
Not when they're actively killing someone. Actively.
She was already dead.
No, she wasn't. That's what the whole point is. She was not active. Like, they were active. Like, she was... Anyways. Child. Where do you live? Not in America.
In the country.
Exactly. Where's the fucking song? Okay, so the call we heard was placed on February 16th, 2009 by Sandra Harold. The person who was attacked was Charla Nash. He was 55 years old at the time, and she had worked for, like, the towing company for the Harolds. She was apparently very familiar with Travis. The day of the attack, Sandra described Travis as, quote, rambunctious, and called Charla over to assist her to coax Travis back in the house because he had like stolen the keys and like was running around the yard and trying to get in the car. He wanted to go for a ride, kind of that thing, and stuff like that. But, well, Sandra swears Charla volunteered, but Charla supposedly, Sandra swears that Charlotte volunteered to come help her, but there's like 1,000 reports that Sandra called Charlotte to help her. Either way, Charlotte apparently arrived in a different vehicle than normal, and I quote, had a radically different hairstyle, which in return I heard that it was just colored and curled. Which I guess maybe radically at some
So you're
point.
saying that Travis didn't recognize her?
Yeah. She had a different hairstyle, a different vehicle, and had a stuffed animal in front of her face. It was apparently Travis's, it's like Elmo or something. Like, she was, trying to, be like, look at me kind of thing to get his attention. Because, I mean, that's what we would do with, any other animal, And I guess Sandra assumed that Travis saw her as a threat, didn't recognize her, saw as a threat, and charged at her. So, Travis charged at Charla and began mauling at her face. He ripped off her eyelids, her nose, lips, and hands. Sandra started screaming and beating Travis with a snow shovel, but Travis continued his attack and was also screaming a loud and very high-pitched scream. Sandra ran into the house and grabbed a butcher knife and stabbed Travis repeatedly in the back. It's really sad, but she did say that Travis turned around and looked at Sandra in her face and was basically like, "How could you, Mom?" It was very sad. I was like, oh. But he only did it for a minute because he turned back around and continued to maul Charla. And, I
wonder if in his mind, did he think he was protecting his mom?
I don't know.
From a stranger?
I don't know. Sandra ran and hid in a nearby vehicle and called 911, but the attack went on for 12 minutes. God, I can't imagine.
No.
I mean, I don't want to, but damn. I'm not ready.
Go.
So, police arrived on scene, and they saw a woman lying prone, half naked, soaked in blood, and Travis had ran up to the patrol vehicle. It's not funny. Because it's really fucked. This was from the interview of Officer Frank. I don't know why I don't get you to, get these names for me. Because I never can pronounce them. It's Chiafari.
Sure.
Chiafari.
Chiafari sounds good to me.
So Officer Frank Chiafari said that Travis had started shaking the car, and it reminded him of Jurassic Park. You know that episode, or that scene where they're, like, shaking the car?
Yeah.
He said that is exactly what it felt like. Like, that much power. So Travis had ran around and ripped the door off the patrol car.
So whenever she said that he could rip the door off, she was being legit.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, he had the strength of, like, 5 men, apparently. So, whatever. He had ripped off the door of the patrol vehicle and bared his, like, blood-stained teeth. And he ultimately had to kill him. Like, me. He was, like, from me to you, like, probably closer.
Yeah, at that point, it's self-defense. Like, that I understand.
So he shot Travis 4 times. And Travis actually fled back into the house and went into his room and died on his bed. But, like, it wasn't, like, immediate, which is, I think, what if that is when it happened, like, he's not dead yet, like, that's, I assume, what they're talking about, because he ran back in the house. So, well, he was 14 years old when he was killed, and officers exited their vehicles. They saw huge chunks of scalp and fingers scattered around the yard.
Because you said he had ripped her hands and face off, like parts of her face off.
Yeah, he destroyed her. It was insane. Like, I saw pictures, videos 9 months after, and it was still insane. And that was after her, I'll talk about it in a second, but whew, man, it was insane.
Wait, did she not die from this attack?
She did not die. Badass of the fucking, like, day. Like, I know that, like, that's crazy, but she's a strong ass bitch. Like,
holy shit.
she did not die. I mean, I'll talk about it in a second, but damn, like, she did not die. Well, Charla Nash's injuries were severe, to say the least. Travis had broken nearly every bone in her facial structure, removed one hand, and basically removed all the other one as well. She didn't die. For the next 72 hours after the attack, she went through more than 7 hours of surgery. Doctors removed parts of Travis's teeth and hair that were embedded into her bones. The hospital provided counseling to the staff who treated her injuries because they were so, like, inconceivable. Like, it was next level. It was crazy. I can't even imagine, personally, but whew. Well, 3 days later, she was still in critical condition, and she was airlifted to Cleveland Clinic. And she underwent 15 months of intervention after that transfer. She is blonde, and 9 months after the attack, on her 56th birthday, she met with Oprah Winfrey and revealed her face. And this was after she had a face transplant. She was a candidate for a facial and hand transplant at, like, the same time, which I read she was either the first or one of the first people, but it ended up, I can't remember if she got her hands transplanted on, and then they had to take them, like, 5 days later because she got pneumonia. So
and it caused her to reject them?
Basically she got infections and all this other stuff, but I only read that at, like, one site, so I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard, which is insane. But she got a leg graft from her leg placed on her face, and that's what she revealed on the Oprah show. And 9 months after the attack, I'm like, whew. Man, like, she wore this, like, veiled hat, and because she said she didn't want to frighten people, and people would say mean comments about her.
Aww.
Yeah, which is really sad. But she doesn't remember anything of the attack at the time, which is awesome, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could
Best
be worse
case
things.
scenario.
She did not feel any pain 9 months after the attack on the Oprah Winfrey Show interview I heard. She said she did not feel any pain. So I was like, that's nice. Because
surprising, but yeah.
Her oh my gosh. She revealed her face after she lifted the veil of the hat. Oprah removed it. And I don't know what I was expecting, but man. Hold on, I wonder if I can pull this up really fast and show you. So this is after she revealed her face. She cannot breathe through her nose. That is basically her leg at this point.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
That's insane.
They built her mouth, is what they said. And
she's still able to, like, take food orally and stuff?
I don't know at that point. I assume now. And she might got used to it because she's blind. She has no smell. And she can talk. I don't know if she can talk. I don't know what she sounded like before. But, like, she almost talks a little slower, but I can't imagine.
Obviously.
Yeah. Like,
I'm surprised she doesn't have, like, where she speaks through her larynx.
She does. She has a little trach.
Okay.
She doesn't hold it. At least in the interview she didn't. But it looked like a little trach in it. I wonder if you can see it in this picture. But it looked like a little trach right there. See?
Okay. I got you now.
But I assume that's what that is. But again, I don't know. Because that's what she looked like earlier. And I'll link all this so that everybody can see it if they want to.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. But this is what she looks like now. She's had, like...
Much better.
A bunch of...
And that's the before picture?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Like, she's back to having a face.
Mm-hmm. She's beautiful now, but, like...
Yeah.
You know, I can't imagine. I mean, whatever. She survived something that was, like, imaginable. That's literally all I can say. She's so strong because... Damn. But...
I don't even understand. Like, to have your entire face ripped off, your hands ripped off, to be completely mauled by a 240-pound animal that's as strong as you said 5 men.
That's what I read.
Good for her.
In that interview, she only had one thumb that I think that they basically sewed back on. But that was it. No hands at all. It was just one thumb. But
can you imagine having your hand ripped off?
Both.
Yeah, like to break your wrist is one thing.
Whew.
But to have it completely ripped off, to have your face ripped off.
Yeah.
And you said that she didn't recall any of the incident.
That's what she said. She said she did not remember the day of the attack. I think like maybe a little bit before.
Wow.
But she's a single mom. Her kid was a teenager.
Oh my goodness.
Her daughter was. So that's very sad. I talk about that a little bit later, but so remember I said the day of Travis was like rambunctious is what Sandra said.
Wanted to go for a ride or something.
Like just like restless as hell. Come to find out she had laced his tea with Xanax that afternoon in hopes of like calming him down and stuff.
Was that normal for them?
I don't know because I read that he was prescribed, like the chimpanzee was prescribed Xanax, which I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, who am I? So Jerome had died. The husband. So Sandra's daughter had died in 2000 of a car accident, which is very sad. And then I think Jerome, the husband, died in 2004.
And this was 2009.
Yes. So they said that I watched an interview, I think, or a documentary that Travis had basically got super depressed after Jerome died. He died of cancer, which is very sad. Like, he went, like, one time to the hospital for, like, whatever the issue was diagnosed and never came back home, which is very, very sad. But, so I don't know if that had to do with anything, but basically they said that him and Charla were both mourning together. They did mention that Xanax can cause hallucination and paranoia in humans, so that it might be a factor in it, but, like, how he considered her a threat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But who knows? His head was sent off for testing for rabies and such, but nothing came back because he was also on antibiotics for Lyme's disease. But he was also cremated after, so I don't know. In March of 2009, Charla's family attorney filed a lawsuit against Sandra for $50 million. Which ended up being settled for $4 million, which I think is fucking bullshit.
From 50 to 4?
Yeah, but...
Did 4 even cover the medical bills?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, medical bill-wise, you've got, like, you're suppressing that, like...
Like, she was obviously in the hospital for months.
Like, years. It's 15 months of intervention. Well, I don't know when she was discharged, but I know right now, I don't know, like, specifically in this moment, but from what I read, she's still in some sort of facility. Which is, I guess, I don't know.
And I can't even imagine the surgery she's had. To get from where she was on the Oprah show to the picture you showed me today.
Yeah.
That's a lot of surgery.
So much surgery, intervention, specialist, PCP, meds, you name it. I mean, $4 million ain't touching shit. And that's just for her. That's not including her teenage daughter, who I assume will probably need, like, therapy and...
Of course.
Stuff like that. Transportation... Like, you have to think about stuff like that. Like,
and also, like, going forward, like, at the very least, she's blind for the rest of her life. Mm-hmm. That's not...
something to take lightly. She lost it. And so...
Can you even, like, insure yourself for an exotic animal?
don't know.
Like
Sandra or...
I'm wondering if like homeowners covers like if your dog bites someone. How do you ensure if your chimp rips someone's face off?
So they did have that law, but I don't know if that would like cover the insurance. Like if maybe once you had that law of like having a pet over 50 pounds, you were like responsible for, I don't know. That's weird. I wonder about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so, like I said, she was a single mother and her daughter was a teenager, so I would assume she would need, like, help as well. I can't even imagine, but anyway, in 2013, Charla attempted to sue the state of Connecticut for $150 million, which was denied. Charla's claim is that the state knew of Travis's behavior and did nothing about it because of, like...
They enacted the law, but they grandfathered him in.
Yes. And so there were 2 incidents reported after. I think I talk about that in a second. But I don't know how much truth it is because, you know, when something happens, people come out of the woodwork to become the victim. Mm-hmm. But it was basically like one was, I think, like 98 or something. And the other one was a couple years later or something like that. But one woman said that Travis had like bit her hand and tried to pull her through a window of a car after he dropped his toy, I think, or something like that. And then one man got bit. I don't know what it was. There was never any proof to it. Like they couldn't file like the claims and stuff like that. So I don't know if it actually was or not. But if the claims were true, it would make me wonder if like the incident could have been prevented. But I'm not sure because I read multiple claims that Charla was around Travis for 10 years, like super familiar with him. However, she told the Oprah show that she'd only fed him like a couple times and has always been scared of him. So that didn't really make sense to me.
Is that the victim or the owner that said that?
The victim said she only had been around him a couple times. But remember, she said she didn't remember the attack and a couple things beforehand. So I don't know if that like played into the effect of it.
Did the owner, other than the event that caused the law to be enacted, where he, like, interrupted traffic and all that stuff because someone threw a bottle through the window, did the owner say that there were any issues with, like, her being able to control him?
So, she did admit, obviously, to the 2003 incident, which was him holding up traffic and stuff. Mm-hmm. She did, I don't know if she declined it or just didn't speak on the other 2 claims of Travis being aggressive. However... There is a series on HBO Max or Max or whatever it's called now called Chimp Crazy, and I watched it, and they talk about the thing, and her stepdaughter comes on it and says, I don't know when it was year-wise, but it was after Jerome had died, but before the attack, and said, oh no, it was after the attack, because she said Sandra was like, if the police had looked at my body that day, they would have seen bruises.
So he had been abusing her.
Yeah. Like, apparently Travis had, like, just, like, kind of got way too much to handle and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
See, I feel like at that point that does make the owner liable.
Yeah. And, I mean, she maintained for her entire rest of her life that she was not a bad person and that Travis wasn't a bad chimp. But, I mean, hey. I don't know. The officer who shot Travis which was Officer Frank Chiafari or whatever, mm-hmm. was also very mentally and emotionally traumatized after killing him. He did an interview where he had said he had interacted with him and loved him like multiple times. Like
because he was like a celebrity in that county or town or whatever.
The towing company had worked with like the local police like forever. So like he was like always going with them and stuff. And I think this was before the incident of like him holding up traffic and stuff. But basically, remember how I said the hospital staff was offered counseling and all that due to his injuries and everything? Well, the officer was originally declined by workers' comp for therapy for his depression, anxiety, and PTSD because the state law only covered, I think, police shootings that involved people.
So it didn't consider this like a normal officer-involved shooting?
Nope.
It was like putting down an animal.
Yeah. So they did not, like... Apparently he had flashbacks, PTSD... nightmares, mood swings, the whole shebang, and he could not get help from his workers' comp agency.
That's a little fucked up, though.
So, Senator Andrew McDonald designed to help the officer get workers' comp coverage, and ultimately the bill would change the law to require the use of deadly force on animals that attempt to injure them, and the city did end up paying for his medical bills after a lengthy back and forth, and he had to change the doctor and everything like that, but which is kind of shitty, but at least he got paid. However, I like that he ended up making a law or bill for it. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, whatever affects an officer's mental health should be covered. I don't care if it is a dog or whatever.
Yeah.
If they're struggling with that, they need to be able to get that help without any questions being asked.
I feel like I'd be sad about a dog.
You would be very sad about a dog.
I would die.
You would rather put down a person than a dog.
1,000% dog and a horse. Please don't make me. So this happened in 2009, but on May 24th of 2010. Oh, so Sandra had gotten like harassed like hell from PETA and all that, even though PETA declined their involvement. But apparently, like, she got like media threats, calls, you name it, or whatever. So on May 24th of 2010, which was like 15 months after the attack, Sandra died suddenly of a ruptured aortic aneurysm at the age of 72. So, her attorney, Robert Golger, released the following statement and said, Miss Harold had suffered a series of heartbreaking losses over the last several years, beginning with the death of her first and only daughter, who was killed in a car accident, then her husband, and then her beloved chimp, Travis, as well as the tragic maiming of her friend and employee, Charla Nash. In the end, her heart, which had been broken so many times before, could not take no more. She was buried with Travis's ashes in her casket, and she maintained she wasn't a bad person, like I said, and he wasn't a bad chimp. But, like, you can't compare your chimp to a son and not hold him to the same guidelines you would as a person.
Like, you can't, but you and I have also, like, had animals that we considered children.
Absolutely. But, I love that I thought you were going to bring this up. So, the weirdness aspect of it. I told you Jerome died.
Yeah.
And this New York newspaper all but claimed that they were pretty much fucking.
Her and the chimp? Her and Travis?
Yeah. So they bathed. She admitted they bathed together. They slept together. She was making them filet mignons, lobster tails, and they drank wine together on a regular basis. They did shopping sprees. It to the point that I was reading it, I got a little cringy. I was like, ugh.
But there was no, like, proof of a sexual relationship.
I did not ever read anything about that, but multiple articles all but basically said they were fucking.
Like, that's not okay.
I read,
regardless of the bestiality claim that we're not, like, we don't kink shame, but that's too much.
We kink shame on that part.
But she also considered him her son, mm-hmm. So there's a bestiality and an incest part to it.
So it was weird, but who am I? You know,
you're a normal human being that
I don't know what
gets to have an opinion.
I don't know what happened, but she herself, I did read, she herself admitted to bathing, washing each other. Ugh. I can't. I don't know, but like, I mean, this chimp used the bathroom like in the same spot. Like, I don't know, whatever. Not my circus, not my monkey. But I'm going to hell. Anyways, Travis was born, like I said, in Missouri in 1995 at a self-styled sanctuary. And if you watch Chimp Crazy on Max, they go a little bit more into the depth of that whole sanctuary, if you will. Because he was taken from his mother, Susie. After 3 days, Susie had spent most of her life at the zoo, but Travis's father, Coco, had been captured from the rainforest in Africa when he was like a kid. I don't know the ages and stuff like that. But Coco and Susie, so mom and dad of Travis, remained in Missouri but escaped in 2001. And they had ran to a nearby housing development and lunged at a car full of teenage boys who were pulling into their driveway. And one of the boys ended up pulling out the shotgun and killing Susie. Coco was recaptured. So killing Travis's mom in 2001. And Coco was recaptured.
So his mom also attacked humans.
I guess if you want to consider that. I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But she, I guess, lunged at him. She escaped. But
until she got shot.
Yeah. I think his dad was recaptured. But before... not Charla. Before Sandra died, she ended up buying another chimpanzee it was in Florida because they had made that law about, you know.
Florida allows a lot of weird shit.
Well, it's Florida, so.
It is. You would know.
Yeah, well. I think the chimp's name was Chance or something, but
Second Chance.
Oh, shit, I didn't think about that. Oh my gosh, Shannon. I didn't think about that. Anyways, that's basically like, what she had done, and then she ended up dying, so I guess she didn't ever go back, so.
How on earth do you then get another one? Like,
because she maintained, I read in an interview, she was like, do I regret having and owning him? No. She was like I said, that was when she was talking about how she wasn't a bad person, he wasn't a bad chimp.
That goes back to the animal versus son aspect. Like, if your kid goes off the rails and ends up killing someone.
Be careful, you know how my feelings are about
this. But we have discussed, like, that is still your child.
Yes.
Like, you still gave birth to that person. You raised them to the best of your ability, I'm assuming. So, is that the aspect we're taking on this? Or are we taking that this is an animal that hopefully hadn't been abused, but now after the whole showering wine thing, we don't really know.
Don't know, but I assume not.
And then the animal goes back to its animal instincts.
Yeah.
And attacks people, as wild animals are prone to do.
Yeah.
So how do you consider this? Is this a child of hers that went off the rails? Or is this a wild animal that went back to its instincts?
Yeah. I don't know.
Obviously, maybe she's not the person to own exotic animals.
Well, she won't anymore since she's DD.
Correct.
But her stepdaughter in the documentary did say she was like a really like awesome person, very funny, which I don't doubt. But you have to have some sort of sense of humor to have a fucking chimp as a pet or kid.
You have a sense of humor. You don't have a weird animal.
I don't, but I wouldn't. Anyways, I don't know.
No, this is not for me.
No.
Absolutely not.
Dr. Jane Goodall says there is a great deal in chimpanzee relationships to remind us of our own behavior, more perhaps than many of us would like to admit.
So, we hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode of Nefarious, and we look forward to you joining us next time with our next case.
Okay, love you, bye.